Hello everyone and welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm going to make some delicious scones. One of my favourite things to bake. Actually, it's probably one of the very few things that I'm able to bake. So now you begin by adding your flour into your bowl. In this recipe I'm using 500 grams of plain white flour. I will have all the ingredients in the description box below, but it's very straightforward. And I have learned to remember this, that for every 100 grams of flour, use 4 grams of baking powder. So 5 fours are 20, so I'm using 20 grams of baking powder in this recipe. I have my bowl sitting on my weighing scale, so that's how I'm able to just quickly see what I need to add. Next I'm adding in my granulated sugar. I really just put in a taste of sugar. I'd say it's about 2 tablespoons. And in these scones I've decided to add some grated cheese. You can leave this out, you can add raisins if you want, whatever you feel like on the day. You can even put in some blueberries. There's so many things you could add to these scones, whatever flavour that you would like to add in, but cheese works really well. And give all the ingredients a good mix, and you're halfway there already. Next I'm going to add my liquid. So I am putting in 1 egg, and give that a little mix in. See how simple this is? Simple cooking at its best. And there's my melted butter. And I have 75 grams of melted butter in these scones. And next my warm milk. And remember, when you're adding in the milk in this recipe, less is sometimes more. So gradually add it, because you definitely don't want to add in too much and then have to add in more flour and more baking powder. So err on the side of caution, as they do say. It's very therapeutic doing this work in the kitchen, isn't it? So now I'm almost at the consistency of a ball of dough that I'm looking for. If you find that it's slightly wet, like I found this, you can always sprinkle in a little bit more flour and then get your hands nice and dirty with this dough. Get stuck in there. This is the fun part. And just keep kneading just like this, just for a couple of minutes until you get a nice ball of dough. It is fun. You can remove your rings beforehand if you wish. Bring the child out in you. It's like playing dough, like back in the day. And there's the lovely ball of dough that I'm looking for. Now I'm going to move onto my floured surface. And I'm going to roll out my dough. And you want your dough to be rolled out to about less than ½ an inch thick. You'll see how I do it here. Get your rolling pin. You don't have to be too precise. Not in my kitchen, as long as it ends up tasting good. Isn't that it? So here we have our rolled out dough, and we're ready to start cutting our scones. So I'm going to do 2 different sizes here. I'm going to have a couple of large ones that my husband will use for lunch a couple of times in the week to come, and then just the regular size ones for using for if you have any visitors coming, which we had coming the next day. If you have some kids hanging around nearby, you could always get them to help with this job too. Or just enjoy the peace and quiet of your kitchen and do it yourself. So here's the bigger ones now for the hubby. So keep working away, cut out all your scones. So I'm going to, after I have these all laid out on my floured tray, I'm going to brush the top of them with some egg wash, which I'm going to use the leftover little bit of milk that I didn't use because I just used 250 mils of milk. And I'm going to add in a beaten egg as well. So beat those together, the milk and the egg, and then brush the top of your scones with them. The next thing I'm doing here is sprinkling some more of my granulated sugar on top. And into your oven they go at about 180 degrees Celsius, and leave them there for about 15 minutes until they're golden brown on top like this. You'll learn as you go along. Try them out a couple of times. You can always stick a knife into your scone, as I'll do here in a moment, and if your knife comes out clean after you stick it into the middle of your hot scone, then you know you've cooked them all the way through. You can always slice one open as well and see how it looks on the inside. After you've made these a couple of times, you will be a flyer. You won't even need to look at a recipe anymore. And here I am the next day. I have my afternoon tea all set up with my fancy coffee cups and my lovely delicious scones warmed up again with delicious creamery Irish butter on top, some cream, whipped cream, and some lovely homemade blackberry jam to serve with them. If you'd like to see a video on how I made my blackberry jam, please drop it into the comments. I have it all recorded, and if you say you want to see the video, I will pop it up in the next few days. So here we are, our scones all ready to eat. I hope you have a go. I hope you enjoy making them. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And if you have, thank you so much. God bless this food. God bless you. Bye.